Writer and activist Catherine Helen Spence was born on October 31st in 1825. Being the fifth child out of 8, the Spence family soon found themselves facing economic hardship. Having no other choice, they moved into South Australia, a British colony at the time. The shift was extremely drastic, and Spences go through encampment, or temporary housing typically consisting of huts or tents. She started working as a governess in Adelaide from the age of 17. Teaching other children developed her own love for writing, and for several years she wrote for the South Australian division of the Argus newspaper under her brother's name. Later on, in 1897, Catherine Helen Spence became the first woman to run as a candidate in the history of federal convention elections. She also established women's right to vote in state elections and the women's right to stand for the state parliament in South Australia. Her career as an activist began in 1872 with her help in starting the Boarding Out Society, an organization that supported poor orphan children. Influenced by Thomas Harris' system of proportional representation in 1892, she put forward the adapted Harris-Spence system to achieve fair demonstration of political parties. By then, Spence had become a proficient public speaker and had addressed the Australasian conferences on charity. In 1891, she joined the female suffrage movement and became a vice president of the Women's Suffrage League of South Australia. In 1892 to 1893, her campaign for proportional representation was launched with the support of the Labour Party and other socialist groups. She traveled to the US, the UK, and Switzerland to address various international conferences. In 1895, she formed the Effective Voting League of South Australia and came at the 22nd position out of 33 candidates. The love of writing she had nurtured early on helped her to write an abundance of popular novels, the first being published anonymously in 1854. Her third book was published 12 years later in 1866, and she finally saw her own name written upon her work. Catherine Helen Spence died on April 3, 1910, in Norwood, South Australia, at the age of 84. She left an unfinished autobiography that was completed later on. Buildings, stamps, and statues in Australia commemorate her achievements, but she's still one of the many unknown suffragists that should be known.